Young Jock had no idea what he was about to walk into. It was supposed to be a normal Thursday night in Atlanta. The club scene was quiet, his schedule was open, and all he wanted was a peaceful dinner at the upscale lounge near Buckhead. Something low-key, no drama. But the moment he walked through those doors, everything changed. At first, he thought his eyes were deceiving him. Across the dimly lit lounge, seated in a private corner booth just beneath a purple chandelier, were two people he never expected to see together, Kendra and Scrappy. Not just seated, not just talking, but laughing, leaning in. Way too close. His heart dropped before his mind even caught up. Kendra was supposed to be out of town. That's what she told him just this morning. A quick girls' trip to Miami. Little me time to reset. But here she was, glowing, hair freshly done, makeup flawless, sipping from the same cocktail glass as Scrappy, who sat with his hand grazing her thigh like they'd done this before. Jock didn't move. He couldn't. He just stared. The security guard at the entrance tapped him on the shoulder, trying to guide him in. Jock nodded slowly and walked in, but instead of taking a table, he beelined straight for their booth. Kendra saw him first. Her face froze. Scrappy turned, still mid-laugh. His smile faded in an instant. "What's this?" Jock asked, voice low, tight, barely controlled. "This your Miami trip, huh?" Kendra opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Scrappy stood up slowly, adjusting his jacket like he already knew where this was going. "Yo, Jock, chill. It's not like that," he said. "Not like what?" Jock snapped. "You sitting here with my wife giggling in some corner like this ain't real life?" A waitress tried to approach, but quickly backed off when she saw Jock's expression. The entire lounge seemed to hush. "I didn't think you'd be here," Kendra finally muttered. That sentence hit harder than any slap. Not, "I'm sorry," not, "It's not what it looks like." Just that, "I didn't think you'd be here." Jock turned toward Scrappy. "So this what we doing now? This is what brotherhood looks like?" "Man, don't put this on me." Scrappy fired back, voice rising. "She called me, said she needed to talk, said you ain't been listening." Jock's laugh was bitter, cold. "She needed to talk? At 10 p.m.? At a lounge? With her legs crossed over yours like it's date night?" Kendra stood up, grabbing her clutch. "I can explain." "Don't bother," Jock said, stepping back. "I see enough right here." He turned and stormed out, cameras outside immediately clicking as he emerged. Somehow, word had already leaked. A TMZ-style page posted the grainy photo within 10 minutes. The caption? Breaking. Young Jock storms out of Atlanta lounge after catching Kendra and Scrappy together. The post had over 50,000 views before he even got back to his car. But that was only the beginning. Within hours, the internet lit up. Fans started digging. One user posted a throwback clip from Love and Hip Hop, where Scrappy and Kendra had an oddly flirtatious exchange during a reunion. Special. Y'all remember this? Been suspicious. Another fan reposted a screenshot from Kendra's story 2 days ago. She was poolside, cocktail in hand, with a blurred male figure in the background, wearing the same watch Scrappy had on tonight. We Ben knew. As the chaos brewed online, Jock sat in his car, hands on the steering wheel, breathing heavy. He wasn't angry anymore. He was numb. That's when his phone rang. It was Kirk Frost. Jock didn't answer, but the voicemail came through almost immediately. And what Kirk said next changed everything. "Yo, Jock, call me back. You need to hear something before it hits the blogs. I didn't want to be the one, but you gotta know. It's about Kendra and that pregnancy test she took last week." Jock stared at the screen. Pregnancy test? He hadn't even known she was late. Kendra hadn't mentioned anything, not a word. But now Kirk, of all people, was telling him something he never expected to hear. And if Kirk knew, that meant this wasn't just drama. This was betrayal. His hand shook as he hit redial. "Kirk, what the hell are you talking about?" Jock demanded the moment the line connected. "You didn't hear this from me," Kirk said quickly. "But I overheard her talking backstage at the set. She was on the phone, talking about being a couple weeks late. She said something about Scrappy being the only one she's been with. I didn't want to believe it. But after what just happened tonight, Jock's mind went blank. Everything froze. The lounge, the laughter, the way Scrappy touched her leg. It all started to make a horrifying kind of sense. If this was true, if Kendra was pregnant, and if Scrappy was the father, then this wasn't just a scandal. This was war. He hung up without saying another word. By the time the sun rose over Atlanta, the story had taken over every blog, every gossip site, every timeline. Fans were choosing sides. Theories were spiraling, and all Jock could think was, how long had this been going on? Jock didn't sleep that night. The second he hung up on Kirk, the world started spinning. His heart told him this couldn't be true. His pride wanted to believe it was just a misunderstanding. But his gut, the same gut that had kept him alive in Atlanta's cutthroat industry for years, was screaming. Something was off, way off. By morning, every major blog had picked up the story, and not just Jock caught Kendra and Scrappy together. No, they had receipts. Hollywood Unlocked dropped a carousel of images showing Kendra and Scrappy together on multiple occasions over the last 2 months, walking into a wellness center in Midtown, leaving a recording studio with the lights off exiting, the same side door of a private house party at 3 a.m. all time-stamped. All damning. But it was the third slide that changed everything. A screenshot from a private IG DM, allegedly leaked by a mutual friend of both Kendra and Scrappy, showing a message, from Scrappy's burner account to Kendra. You sure he don't suspect anything? This baby gon' make things real. Jock's phone exploded. Group chats were going off. His sister called crying. His label rep texted saying the media frenzy was starting to affect a pending endorsement deal. And yet, through all the noise, he couldn't stop hearing Kirk's voice in that voicemail. She said Scrappy was the only one she'd been with. He needed answers. So instead of waiting for them to come to him, Jock did what only Jock could do. He pulled up. It was noon when he drove to Kirk and Rashida's Frost Bistro. No warning, no call ahead. He walked through the front door, shades on, hoodie up, tension radiating off him like heat. Kirk was already there, pacing in the back corner of the VIP section, phone in hand. The moment he saw Jock, he sighed. "You good?" Kirk asked cautiously. Jock dropped into the booth, leaned forward. "Nah, man, and I ain't gonna be until you tell me everything." Kirk hesitated, then sat. "She was at the studio 2 weeks ago. You were out of town. We had wrapped filming and she was still hanging around. That's when I overheard her. She was on the phone, pacing, talking real low. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. It just happened." Jock didn't blink. "She said she was a few weeks late, that she was nervous, that you and her hadn't been together like that in a while." Jock's jaw clenched. Kirk continued. "Then she said, 'It has to be Scraps.' I swear on everything, man. I was stunned." Jock leaned back, staring at the ceiling, breath shaky. "You sure she said that? I wouldn't be repeating it if I wasn't." That was it. The final crack. Because now it wasn't just suspicion. It wasn't just a viral post or a shady DM. It was confirmation. The woman he married, the friend he trusted. They had lied, and now the whole world was watching it unravel in real time. Just as Jock stood to leave, Kirk grabbed his arm. "There's more." Jock froze. "She's trying to get ahead of this. I heard from production. They're editing the reunion episode. Cutting parts where she talked about wanting a family with you. Cleaning it up. She knows this is bad. Real bad." Jock shook his head slowly. "She's always been 10 steps ahead, huh?" As he walked out of Frost Bistro, phones were already pointed at him. Someone shouted, "Jock, you got something to say to Scrappy?" He didn't respond. But what he did next spoke volumes. He opened his own IG Live. No warning, no filters, just young Jock, raw, real, furious. I ain't one for internet drama, but let's make it official. "Kendra, you lied. Scrappy, you betrayed. And now y'all trying to spin the truth like I'm crazy?" Tens of thousands of viewers poured in. I saw y'all, with my own eyes, in a corner booth laughing like I didn't matter. Then I get a call, saying she might be pregnant, and the baby ain't mine. The comment section exploded. "Oh nah!" Jock airing it all out. Scrappy got some explaining to do. He continued, "Y'all want to act like this is just messy TV? Nah, this was my life, my marriage, my family, and now it's ashes because two selfish people couldn't be real." Then he ended the stream with a line that would go viral for days. "Y'all didn't just cheat on me. You murdered every piece of trust I had left." Within minutes, blogs clipped it. Memes started flying. One had Scrappy photoshopped into a Maury Povich chair with the caption, "Scrappy, you are the father." Even worse, Kendra's page went private. Scrappy disabled his comments. Neither had responded, but someone else did. That night, a new voice entered the chaos. Bambi, Scrappy's ex and co-star from Love and Hip Hop. She posted a cryptic story. "Told y'all he ain't changed. Some of us just learned the hard way," followed by a fire emoji and the hashtag #eBay. Young Jock deserved better fans flooded her DMs. Screenshots leaked of Bambi allegedly texting producers demanding a sit-down with Jock for the next taping. Meanwhile, Jock received a direct message from a private page. It was a video, low quality, shaky, but the content undeniable. Kendra and Scrappy, same lounge, different night. This time, Kendra was leaning in, kissing him, not cheek, not forehead, mouth. The caption on the video? "This was 3 weeks ago. I was there, they thought nobody saw." Jock's hands trembled. He had just gone live, just told the truth. And now, there it was. Proof. He sent the clip to Kirk, then to producers, then to himself, just in case they tried to scrub it later. And in that moment, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a personal betrayal. This was a public reckoning. By the time the sun rose the next morning, Young Jock's IG Live had surpassed 2 million views. His name trended for 12 straight hours. Every blog, every gossip channel, every reaction page on YouTube had already begun dissecting his words, his pain, his rage, frame by frame. But while the internet argued over Team Jock or Team Scrappy, behind the scenes, something even messier was unraveling. Because now the producers of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta saw what they had in their hands, a real-life, unscripted betrayal that was hotter than anything they could have planned. And instead of backing away, they leaned in. Jock got the call early, an executive producer reaching out with a chilling calmness in her voice. "Look, Jock, the network wants to do a full sit-down, raw, uncut. We'll film it with just you, on camera, then with Scrappy, then Kendra, separately. And if you want, you'll get the last word." Jock paused. "I'm not doing no fake reunion drama. This ain't no storyline, this is my life," she responded. "Exactly. That's why it's going to be the most watched episode of the season." He hung up. The thirst was unreal. Meanwhile, Scrappy had gone dark. Not a post, not a story, not a word. But the silence only made things worse. Because when a private page leaked audio of Scrappy allegedly admitting to a one-time mistake with Kendra, the internet erupted again. "Yeah, it happened. We were drunk. It wasn't supposed to mean anything." But then she called and said she missed her period, and I panicked. That clip spread like wildfire. TikTok exploded. Memes flooded Twitter. YouTube channels raced to upload Scrappy confesses to Kendra affair in bold red text. Meanwhile, a source close to the set revealed that Kendra had gone into full crisis mode, locking herself inside her condo and refusing to film any new scenes. She issued a written statement through a friend. "I'm not perfect, but what's happening right now is cruel. People are twisting everything. I didn't cheat. I made a mistake during a very painful time in my relationship. That's all I'll say." That only made things worse, because now Jock's fans had receipts, video, and context, and they weren't letting up. Kirk, stuck between both camps, tried to play peacemaker. He invited both Jock and Scrappy to Frost Bistro for a private sit-down. No cameras, no producers. Just a conversation between men. Only one showed up. Scrappy never came, but Kirk came with something else, a printout from the production team. It was a filming schedule from a few weeks back. On it was a note about a reshoot of a Kendra scene, and beside it, a highlighted line. "Scene must exclude any reference to late period. Replace with generic relationship stress line." Jock stared at the paper. "They knew," he muttered. Kirk nodded. "They're protecting her, or trying to avoid legal fallout. Either way, this is getting dirtier than we thought." Jock left the bistro with one thing on his mind. He wasn't going to wait for producers to tell his story. He was going to end this his way. That night, he posted again, a black and white photo of him staring out of a window. Caption: "Forgiveness doesn't mean silence. And love doesn't mean stupidity. I'm done being quiet." Attached was a teaser for his own sit-down interview, professionally shot, independently produced, and labeled, "Young Jock, the truth they tried to bury." In the teaser, his voice narrated, "They filmed my breakdown, my heartbreak, my loyalty, but they never gave me a voice. Now I'm taking it back." It trended before the video even dropped. Blogs begged for early access. Influencers speculated on how explosive it would be. Kendra disabled her account. Scrappy was reportedly in Miami, hiding out in a penthouse. And the world was ready for the final blow. When the video finally premiered, Jock sat alone, no background. Music, no producers, no filters. Just him. He told it all. How he noticed Kendra pulling away, how she started hiding her phone, how Scrappy began ducking calls. The night he walked into that lounge, the voicemail from Kirk, the screenshots, the footage, he even showed the leaked text messages, the voice note, the pregnancy suspicions. Then came the rawest moment of all. I was ready to build a family. I gave her the keys to everything. I trusted Scrappy like a brother. And they shattered that for what? A moment? A thrill? A secret they thought would never see the light? He looked straight into the camera. This ain't love and hip-hop. This is betrayal at the highest level. The final minute was just silence. His eyes, bloodshot, tired, but defiant. The screen faded to black. The words appeared, dedicated to anyone who's ever been lied to by the ones they trusted most. The internet broke. Comments poured in. This hit too close. Not just a reality star. That's a real man. I'll never look at Scrappy or Kendra the same. Even celebrity blogs that usually thrived on drama posted tributes. BT reposted a clip with the caption, "This moment just transcended reality TV." Even Bambi reposted it with the message, "Facts only. He deserved better." The next day, Scrappy finally responded. A short video, no music, just him sitting in a hotel suite. "I messed up, that's it. I disrespected a bond that was supposed to be unbreakable. I ain't got no excuses, just a lot of regrets." But the damage was already done. Kendra issued a final statement. She confirmed she was not pregnant, but admitted she had violated the trust in her marriage and would be stepping away from public appearances indefinitely. Production sources revealed that both Kendra and Scrappy had been placed on temporary filming suspension, and reunion plans were being restructured. As for Jock, he was approached by multiple networks for a docuseries. A book deal was reportedly in the works. And the phrase he signed off with, "Love doesn't mean stupidity," was printed across hundreds of fan t-shirts within a week. In just a matter of days, young Jock had gone from being heartbroken to being the voice of every person who's ever been played. He didn't just win the internet, he won his dignity back. And as the final wave of backlash hit Scrappy and Kendra, the only sound louder than the scandal was the silence of regret. Because once trust is broken, no apology can fix what was shattered. You've just witnessed one of the most jaw-dropping betrayals to ever rock the world of love and hip-hop. From secret link-ups to leaked messages, from lounge cameras to exposed receipts, young Jock's pain became public, and so did the truth. This wasn't just reality TV drama. This was real heartbreak, real betrayal, and real consequences. Kendra claimed she was healing. Scrappy tried to play it off like a mistake. But Jock stood tall, spoke his truth, and walked out with his head high, and his fans right behind him. But now, it's your turn. Drop a comment below. Do you believe Kendra and Scrappy were sneaking around for longer than they admitted? Was the pregnancy scare real, or a cover-up gone wrong? And do you think Jock should ever forgive either of them? If you were in Jock's shoes, would you clap back the way he did? Type Shachwar's Team Jock if you're standing with him. Type Shachrast Kendra exposed if you think this was long overdue. Or type Stachur Scrappy lost everything if you saw this fall coming. Don't forget to like this video if you felt Jock's pain. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because word on the street is this story isn't over. Producers are plotting a sit-down, more cast members are speaking out, and insiders say Kendra's next move might shake the whole franchise again. This drama is bigger than love. It's about trust. It's about loyalty. And when that's broken, there's no going back. Stay locked in. We've got all the receipts. And the next episode might just break the internet.